Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Jess Gately and I'm here in the city of Melville today with author Carrie Cox, author of Afternoons with Harvey Beam. Carrie is one of 8 authors that will be joining us for the Great Big Book Club afternoon tea on Sunday the 21st of October. Thank you, Carrie, for joining us.
Thank you. Can't wait for that event.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, Afternoons with Harvey Beam is all about Harvey running away from his life and his family, and in particular his father. What made you want to write about father relationships?
I'm actually fascinated by family dynamics and how your family of origin can shape you and how that ultimately can dictate your life. And if it wasn't happy, then how much can you actually let that go? So it was more about family, but because the character I landed upon, I fell in love with, was Harvey Beam. It became the father-son relationship is the one I explored the most. But it's family in general, and in this case, coming back as an adult to the place you grew up and having to reconcile what it is that shaped you.
And families are so complex as well.
They're a great scene to mind. There's just so much there.
Now, you also wrote this book in a library.
I did.
Tell us about your love affair with libraries.
It is a love affair. I absolutely love libraries, and it's probably special that I wrote this in Carrot Library because as a journalist, I do most of my work from home, and I didn't want it to feel like work. This was different. This was my personal project, and I wanted it to feel different, so it had to be in a different atmosphere. But where it begins is I grew up in a small town that was divided by a river, so it had a council on one side, another council on the other, and they were quite independent, and one of them had a library, and I lucked out. I was on the other side of the river, the uneducated, illiterate side of the river. Luckily for me, my grandma lived on the other side of the river, and she would every fortnight or so drive across and pick me up and take me to the library so I could borrow books on her card. But she was a volunteer at the library too, so she would be there for a few hours, and so I would be too. And it was I've said this before, it was my Narnia. It cracked open my imagination, it exposed me to stories, it made me love stories. It just became very, very special from the start, and so I just have this ongoing reverence for libraries, and one I try to pass on to my kids as well.
I think there's a lot of people that would agree on just how magical a library can be. So the afternoon tea that we're hosting is a book club read. If you were to be hosting a book club and you were talking about your book, what cocktail would you serve to your guests and why?
Okay, I think for namesake, the Harvey Wallbanger would be hard to go past. Also, I think Harvey as a character would have caused people to bang their heads against walls at times, particularly his ex-wife. And I think the thing about the Harvey Wallbanger is it's a very, on paper, it's a very simple cocktail with just a few ingredients. And yet to try it, it's quite a complex taste. And I think that's a little bit there's a nice analogy there with Harvey being the character. Still waters run deep. He seems like a pretty standard middle-aged, jaded sort of guy due for a midlife crisis, but there's more going on there, and you find out as the book rolls on how he explores that.
I loved Harvey's character. I just found him so sarcastic and wonderful to read.
Oh, okay. He did become like a friend to me too. He's very real to me.
Well, we look forward to hearing more about Harvey at the afternoon tea, Sunday the 21st of October. If you would like to join us, please head to our website, www.fremantlepress.com.au/events. Thank you very much, Carrie.
Thank you, Jess.